What's doing? Welcome back. We're in the outdoors today, but we're going to do some testing. So I've had a heap of questions about towing with the tow tune that we do in the Dmaxes and 4JJ3 BT50s and MUXs. So I have my car, I have car trailer, and I have car. This is my car. If you're interested, it's a 910 Bluebird. It has SR20 Z32 box and R200 IRS conversion. Makes about 450 horsepower, but we digress. We got to talk about weight. Trailer weighs 750. I've got a box that's full of tools, jacks, and equipment, tire rack, and then the car. So let's call that, it's probably 850, maybe 900, and that's, I'm gonna guess, is probably around the 1400 mark. So that puts us at about, I don't know, what did I say, 900, 1400, is 2300, yeah, about 2300 kilos. I'd probably guess somewhere there. So somewhere around that, so 2 to 2.5 ton as it sits. And nothing in the tray, car's just normal. And I don't have airbags, so it's sitting not too bad. I'll pan right back, it's not sitting too bad, actually. So a bit of a defense for the Dmax. The suspension's pretty good for the amount of weight that's on the back of it. But anyway, let's go for a drive. I'll set the laptop up. It was Father's Day yesterday, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I tried doing this yesterday and I just had dramas. And so now it's Monday afternoon. Hopefully get this edited and get it out to you in the next hour or so. And you'll see what the car does when towing. All right, so we're in the car, loaded up. We've got Cassie filming for me at the moment, so you can have both hands on the steering while we're driving. She can try and show you the screen as well. It's a little bit darker, so we're going to not have any glare, so you can see everything. Car's loaded on. I'm going to try and go on the highway a bit. So then you guys are traveling on the highway, obviously towing caravans, whatever. Need to see that, not just sitting around traffic in city stuff. So we're going to try and do that. I'm going to show you worst case scenario, just leaving this thing in drive. I don't have a trans cooler, so trans temps might get up there doing that, but I'll keep an eye on them. Once I get a trans cooler, I'll show you the differences of that as well. But then I'll show you clicking back to forth, going up the hills and doing that as well. So we're going to go up the highway. There's some decent hills going up there. I'm not going to go all the way up to sort of Karoi, but we'll go up some hills and do some stuff. Then we'll cruise on the flats and I'll show you how it works in lockup, and you need this when towing. All right, so we're just pulling out onto Seaburn Way here. It's an 80k zone, so I'm going to get Castor on the screen for you now. All right, so we just clicked in the third gear lockup there, full lockup as you can see in the 3, and just clicked into fourth gear, 70 k's, full lockup, and I'll get up to 80, and I'll go fifth gear. And we go, click into lockup there. Now this will protect, like I said in the previous video, it will protect itself. It won't go into full lockup if it's not safe to, there's too much load or there's too low of an RPM. I can actually get this thing down to 6th gear. There you go, so I back off a little bit and get this in the 6th gear at 80 k's an hour with half lockup, not a full lockup. But if I accelerate a little bit, obviously it's going to want to unlock and go back, but it still holds 6th gear. And you can see I can accelerate, I can accelerate, I can accelerate. The RPM's going up, we're still holding 6th gear, and we're getting up to 80 k's, and it clicks around there. So we'll get out on the highway now, and we're gonna get up to 100 k's an hour. Like I said, this transit is pretty smart. It'll try and protect the box as much as it can, and we don't change that. Same in the Hiluxes. We don't want you talking about locking in too low, and we want that clicking out when there's too much load as well, so the trans temps don't go skyrocketing. So we'll get in the 100k zone, and we'll show you what it does. All right, so we're just getting onto the on-ramp now. I'm just trying to see where we're going here, not take anyone out, obviously. We're going to get up to 110, and we're going to cruise on a bit of a flat. There is a bit of a rise here, so we'll get up to 110 if I can in the traffic, obviously, and I'll get Cass to show the screen now and what we're going to do. All right, so as you can see, I'm just clicking up to, well, it says 103 on my dash, but we're clicking up to 100 in the trans there. We're in 5th gear, full lockup. We are going up a slight rise. It's nothing major, but it's holding full 5th gear, full lockup. We're only doing 100. I'll merge over in a second. We'll get up to that 110. But if you know where I am, I'm coming from Caloundra Road past Aussie World Old Ennemogga Pub. There is a couple of little rises, so there we go. We've clicked into 6th gear, full lockup, and we're coasting along. So not sure you can see, we're on a bit of a flat, sort of bit of a downhill, and we're going to go back up a bit of a rise here. Not much, but I will put in a worst case scenario where I'm slowing down to 100, and I'll give it a bit of acceleration to hold that pace. So see, we're holding the same speed. I'm at 99, 100 on my dash. We're holding 6th gear lockup. It'll unlock when it needs to, but not drop down. So that's the whole problem with this transmission, was it was going between 6th, 4th, 5th and all the lockups in between. So it'd be going 3rd lockup to 2 lockup to 1 lockup to 2, and then you know, dropping from 6th to 5th to 4th, and it didn't know where it was going. Like I said, we're still only doing 100. We've got a couple more rises going up here. It's in 6th gear lockup. I'll get up to 110. I'll try and get past some traffic, and we'll show you what it does. All right, so we're just coming up to the Civvy Downs exit, or Mooloolaba Road exit. I'm on 107, 108 on the dash. Show the screen ECAS now. We're showing 103. So I'm coming in on a D-cell. So you can see in that bottom left corner, the torque converter is locking up to allow for D-cell braking, and we're clicking back on, and I'm still seeing on that 104. Well, I'm 104 now, but we're only doing 100 in a trans. So we're going to come up a bit of a hill here. This isn't a very steep hill. It's a long, gradual hill. I'll try and hold the speed where we are, but you can see we're in a 6th gear lockup. I've got 2.5 ton on. Like I said, this isn't probably ideal for a lot of people. You know, you can obviously flick this back into 5th or 4th and manually shift, which we'll do on the way back. But you can see our trans temps there aren't overly high. We'll try and let this thing roll up as much as we can. I'll try and not to press accelerator too much and hold there where I can with the speed. So I'm not letting it kick back. We're holding our speed pretty well. It's holding 6th gear. Here we go. Unlocks there because we are going up this bit of a hill. But it's holding 6th gear. We're not clicking back to 5th. We're not clicking back to 4th. Not flaring between torque converter lockups. It's just holding that 6th gear, holding up. I'm sitting on 98 k's an hour. You know, if I was to accelerate, so I put my foot down, it will go back to 4th. So if you do need to go up this way, like I said, we're pushing the friendship here. This is the worst case scenario. You shouldn't be really doing this. We should be manually shifting. But you can see the trans temps up to 123, so they're not too bad, and it's dropping down pretty quickly as well. So we're on a D-cell here now. We'll come back to you when we go back uphill. You can see the torque converter's locking up there as well. We'll go up another hill. All right, so we're on the flats again here. We're about to come up to the Forest Glen exit. I'm sitting on 100 k's. Just kick back on me now. I'll show you on the screen now, Cass. So I'll show you, as you can see on the screen, we're in 6th gear. We're about to start coming up a rise. I have accelerated a little bit to try and keep the speed, obviously. I'm sitting on 100. We've got traffic in front of us, so I can't really do 110. Most of you guys probably aren't even doing 110 anyway when towing. So you can see there we're in 6th gear, no lock up because we always got a fair bit of load on the back. But I'm accelerating up to keep that. I'm actually 102. We're still in 6th gear. Still in 6th gear. No lock up, obviously, because we've got too much load. Our trans temps are getting quite high. So this is where a trans cooler will come in play and help that a lot. So we're at 130. I wouldn't say that it's unsafe, it's just getting up high. So once we get to the top of the rise, I can back off, and instantly our trans temps drop. We get 6th gear, full lockup, and we're cruising again. All right, so I'm going to turn around and go back. The hills are almost identical on the way back. I think the second one might be a little bit steeper. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go back into 4th gear and show you how that works. And go manual mode, and we'll go 4th and 5th, and we'll control it manually. And we'll show you what it can do if you obviously tow like normally. Like I said, the only thing I need in this now is 1, airbags, and 2, a trans cooler, just to keep those trans temps down. You'll probably find with a trans cooler, driving in that worst case scenario, it'd probably hold 100 degrees the whole time. All right, let's turn around, we'll go back up the highway. I'll get to show screen now. We're just literally taking off from the lights. Go there. We're taking off from the lights back onto the highway, just so you can see what's going on at Forest Glen here, getting onto the on-ramp quite quickly into 1st and 2nd, from 1st into 2nd, into 3rd, and we're going to just accelerate a little bit. You can see I'm only at 2200 RPM. I'm not pushing this thing hard at all. Into 4th, we still have lock up there as well. 4th lock up, accelerating up to 80 k's an hour. Apologies for the bumps, the highway's not the greatest, Queensland government, hit your heart out. And we're going to try and get up to 110 in this section, and then I'll flick into manual mode and I'll show you what we're doing in manual. So we just clicked over 100 on the dash, and then that's clicked into 5th, and we're 5th full lock up, and then we'll go into, once I let off the accelerator and cruise here, we'll go to 6th and lock. So we're coming up to a hill, so I'm going to shift this across into manual mode. So we're still in 6th gear in manual mode. I'm only doing 100 because there's heaps of traffic, of course. But what we're going to do is, instead of going up in 6th gear, I'm going to click back. I've clicked back into 5th, and I'll click back into 4th. I'm asking 4th, but the car is aware that it can still run 5th. Full lock up in 5th up the hill. Now it's just click back to 4th, but there's physically no draw. You can't feel that. but we've still got full lockup. The main thing you feel in this car is when the torque converter locks between, on and off. And you can see the trans temps now, 100 degrees, going up the same hill in 4th gear, full lock, no dramas. We're at the top of the hill now. I click it straight across back into auto mode. And now we're in 6th gear. We're on a bit of a decel, and we're good to go. So you can see the car's smart enough not to kick back a gear if it doesn't need to, and it'll hold that gear and lock up. And the trans temperatures are a massive difference. Having that torque converter locked up in that manual mode, like I said, I gave you the worst case scenario first time around. So we're going to go this other hill up here in a second. I'll do the same thing. I'll click it back in the manual mode. I'll ask for 4th gear, but the car will decide what's safe for itself, and then we'll go. So I've slowed down a fair bit here now. I'm at 95, 90 on the dash. I'll show you on the computer now. So we're in the worst case scenario here. We're at sort of 90 Ks. We've got a bit of a gap between cars up ahead. So we're in 6th gear, semi-lock up, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to click it back in the manual mode again. So we're in 5th gear on the controller, gear knob, whatever you want to call him. And I'm going to click him back in the 4th. I've asked for 4th on the dash, it's now clicked back in the 4th, but we're still in full lockup. I'm holding 102, which is 97 there. Holding 103, still 4th gear lockup. You can see those trans temps are sitting beautiful. 99 degrees, not moving, 4th gear lockup, up a hill. Just show the screen here, up the road here, Cass. So you can see we're going up a hill. The screen doesn't probably show you too much, but this is the zippy down exit. It's not a massive dramatic hill, but we're holding now at 108 in the dash. Straight back down to there. Still 4th gear lockup, holding that beautifully. We're up the top of the rise. Straight here now, Cass. I flick across back into drive. Straight into 5th gear, 6th gear, lock up. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna head back now. That's a perfect example of 1, how not to drive your car, and 2, how good the trans tune is. This box is the same as a Hilux, so when I tow with my Hilux, I do the same thing. If there's any hills, I click that straight across in the manual mode, let it get in the 4th gear lockup, pull up the hill, do what I need to do, click it back in the drive, and away we go. Trans temps sit beautifully. It drives so much nicer. You're getting prepared for the hill. You're driving, you can see what's coming. Just flick it back in the manual mode, go up the hill, and away you go. Running a trans cooler definitely helps. You can get a little bit lazy then when you're going up the slight inclines, the trans temps won't skyrocket. And you're going to have a much nicer drive wherever you're driving to and from. You're going to save a heap of fuel because in lockup, creating that torque to get you up the hill, not using revs and blowing its brains out trying to blow up a hill. Like we said, we've got almost 2.5 ton going up that hill. I was just breathing on the accelerator, holding just over 2 grand. And the thing drives perfectly. I would have no dramas driving this to Sydney with my drift car on the back, or Cass has a horse float with 1 or 2 horses and no dramas at all. Don't worry, that's just cars being close to me. So anyway, that's it for everyone for this one. I don't know if I've missed anything. If I have, let me know in the questions below. If we need to do any more to show you guys what this thing can do, happy to do so. I don't know how else to replicate more weight other than put more cars or whatever on the back, but like I said, 2.5 ton or so on the back, driving perfectly. You can leave it in drive down the Bruce High, no dramas at all, but when you got big hills such as Gateway or those hills there, click it back in the 4th, let it hold 4th gear full lock. It won't flare between all the gears, blow up your temperatures, causing gearbox issues, and you're going to have a nice car to drive, better fuel economy, and you're going to have a nice happy drive with the wife. Won't complain about the gearbox flaring and carrying on. And yeah, that's it. I'm just rambling now. So we'll get home, I'm going to have some dinner, and I'm going to edit, and then we're going to get this out to you as quick as I can. And you guys can give us a call, 54914626. Cass is more than happy to talk to you, explain. She knows how it all works. She's driven the car, and we can go through it all and get you booked in and get yourself a trans tune today.